Mama's on the floor right now. Auntie's on the floor right now.
I'm ready.
Ready?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, here you go. Not working. Mr. Wetzel. Mr. Wetzel,
Yeah.
okay, you have to send the host back to me so that I can go live.
I'm not there. Okay. Oh, here we go. Give me a second. Cancel. Okay, I'll make you host.
Okay, great. So now I can go to Facebook Live. Hello? Hello? Okay, let's see.
I can hear you, Dr. Lee.
You can hear me? Okay, great.
I can hear you as well.
Okay, wonderful. So we are Facebook Live, and I want to welcome everyone that's came in to watch our Zoom podcast tonight. And I have some very special guests with me. And so let's see. Okay. Where are my guests? I'm not seeing my guests. Okay, maybe they're down. That's not it, do it. Okay, I'm back. Now, question is, how do I get my, I'm listening. One second. Gallery, there we go. There we go. Okay. Welcome, everyone, to We Elevate You, you being your brand. Tonight, my co-hosts are not with me. Some of them are not. We do have Mr. Paran Wetzel, an awesome accountant. And he's the one that can save you from all kinds of troubles. So we want to welcome him to the podcast tonight. And we have two special guests, as I said, Ms. Cara Walker. She's a wizard in the brand department. And so she's going to come on in just a little bit and give us more information about what she does with the branding. She's been working with Women of Wealth magazine, and we're very excited about what's been happening. Okay, and our next guest is Ms. Shondelyn Hoffler. She is the CEO of Ursula, and she will correct that name for us, Exotic Cars. And her theme is Winners Drive Exotic. So we're going to start with you first, Cara. Can you give us an introduction of just who you are and what your passion is and how you elevate women?
Absolutely. I am so excited to be here this evening with you all. And thank you, Dr. Lee, for inviting me and all of the guests on the line. So my name is Cara Sharice. I'm the founder and CEO of the Pretty Passionate brand and the Pretty Passionate Marketing Group. My background is in marketing and advertising, over 12 years of experience in that space, marketing, branding, advertising. I've worked for brands like Essence, iHeartRadio, Complex Media, worked with brands like Jergens, State Farm, and so forth to really brand and market them. And so now what we do with the Pretty Passionate Marketing Group is what we did for big brands, big household name brands and media companies is we take that same structure in developing vision, creating strategy, branding and marketing for women, right? For entrepreneurs, and not just any type of branding and marketing, but how do you take that purpose, that thing that you were uniquely created to do, the thing that you're passionate about? How do you package that? How do you monetize that so that you can drive income and impact? And I'm passionate about working with women and cheering women on and creating strategies. That's my passion.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, we'll come back to you with questions. Good to see you, Dr. D. And we'll have some questions for you in just a little bit. Shondelyn Hoffler, tell us a little bit about your luxury cars. I know you've been an entrepreneur ever since, I guess, around 18, 19 years old. And you're a serial entrepreneur. You refuse to go work on a job.
Yeah,
You
that's true.
refuse
So
to
from
do.
a young age, that's actually been my legacy. My grandparents worked for themselves. My grandmother had her own restaurant right from her garage. You know, she ran her own restaurant and she had her own business. She was a minister and a preacher. So that is a part of my DNA, my makeup, my legacy. You know, my parents have always worked for themselves and have been entrepreneurs. My father being a contractor and so works for himself. And you, of course, Dr. Lee, being my mom, has always worked for herself as an attorney, a minister, and currently with your magazine. And so that's part of my legacy, my DNA of who I am. I've always worked for myself, and I can't imagine doing anything else but being an entrepreneur. And having that DNA makeup, it has led me to diversify many ways, many years, many times. So I have done things from branding and making my own clothing line to also selling food and having like a mini restaurant. Also having worked as the president of the magazine. So that's, again, doing more entrepreneurship workshop where we're doing things together for ourselves, by ourselves. And, you know, I worked my way through college by taking care of myself, being an entrepreneur. So that's what I know. And selling houses as a real estate agent, being an actor, creating films and videos and things like that. So I've always worked for myself. So it was a natural transition for me to say, what else can I do? Where else can I take my brand, my energy, and diversify? And that became cars. I love cars. I love seeing women drive exotic cars. You know, oftentimes you see men and you expect that, but when you see a woman in a nice sports car, you see a woman, you know, in a classic car, it's always a shock. It's always very entertaining. And so I said, you know what, that might be a niche for me. That might be something to diversify into and then see how I like it. And so far, I'm at the beginning stages of getting all of that together. You know, I recently obtained my dealer's license. So now I'm Upsala Luxury Auto Dealership. And so that's a good thing because you don't have many women that are in the business of dealing with cars and actually owning and selling and buying cars like that. So it's a new territory. It's new for me. I'm enjoying it. You know, I recently went to the Used Automobile Dealers Association annual convention, and I learned so much at that convention. I saw that, you know, women, of course, are the minority, and Black women even more so. So it was interesting to learn about how African Americans, you know, play a part in this role, in this position, and then more importantly, how women were. So I learned a lot, and it taught me that this is something that I need to continue. This is a field that is wide open, and there's no stopping. Right now, I have just, you know, 3 in my fleet. I've got a BMW 335i in my fleet. I've got a Bentley just recently put in my fleet. I have a Maserati, and I have a Mercedes. So those things that I have, I'm beginning to figure out, you know, do I want to buy and sell, or do I want to start me a limo service in which I'm letting people rent them or drive them around or chauffeur them around in the luxury car business. So there's many avenues, many ways that you can use this. So I'm learning about it, and I'm going to keep going, keep branding, and keep pushing. I love it.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so Cara, we're switching back to you. What do you tell this woman that doesn't understand the importance of creating a brand and exactly what her brand is?
Yeah. So, you know, I always say, I talk a lot about don't just build a business, build a brand, right? And your brand, when we think about a brand, sometimes we might dabble into the marketing space and we think about marketing, and it's all kind of mixed together, branding and marketing, and we try to use them interchangeably. But when we think about a brand, your brand is your reputation, right? And your brand is, Jeff Bezos says it best, your brand is what people say about you when you leave the room, right? And so it's important to build a brand and not just a business, because building your brand is what's going to separate you from maybe someone else, the other competitors, or someone who's doing something similar to you, and really create a unique lane for yourself. And your brand is also going to help your audience, your clients, your potential customers understand what it is that they're getting from you, right? It's almost your promise to your audience. And so after you've built that brand, that's how you create legacy. That's how you create foundational brands that stand the test of time. So for example, I always love to talk about, let's say, Starbucks and like a Dunkin' Donuts, or Starbucks and your neighborhood coffee shop, right? When we think of Starbucks, what's the difference between being able to charge $6 for a cup of coffee versus $2, right? And why am I okay with paying $5, $6 for a cup of coffee versus $2? And it's because of the brand that Starbucks has built, right? So not only are you going to get coffee, but what's the association when you're walking around with that Starbucks cup? You feel like a premium, right? You feel professional. You feel like, oh, I got my Starbucks coffee. You know, when you walk up in a Starbucks location, you can bring your laptop. You can have a meeting there, right? You're not